Hi, I'm ZimZoe, and this is my third speed painting video. Once again, I've changed things up a bit. Firstly, because I've added more light. Because normally I use just natural light, but it was quite murky outside, so I thought if I add more light it'll make it look brighter, and you can see what's going on. Second change is that you can see my Black Butler pocket watch in the bottom left hand corner. And the reason that's there is so that you can actually tell how much time was passing for me whilst I was painting everything. I also realised that I've changed how I film this each time I've done one of these videos, so you'll have to bear with me the fact that it changes every week. At least there'll be some difference between the first one and the last one. As for this video, I'm sorry for it being late, but in return, I mean, you got 2 videos last time a speed painting video went up, and one of them was the compilation. I hope you've enjoyed the ZimZoe 2016 compilation, because it was meant to be done before Christmas, like the ZimZoe 2015 one was, but after having murder with making the 2015 one, I decided to put it off. But it was actually easier than I remembered when I was making it, and I managed to make it in like 5 hours, just one evening, and that was all the way from like premise, so like the idea of what am I going to put where, all the way to exporting it. That's why I was super excited, because I was going to put it off and put it in last week, but I was too excited. I was like, yes, this looks fantastic, it needs to go up now. If you haven't seen it, it's a nice video, and it sums up all the stuff I do over the year. And I've made a playlist for actually both compilations, 2015 and 2016. So I suppose you can expect to see a 2017 one, even if it doesn't come out till 2018. As for day-to-day stuff, I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider. Woo! Now, I wasn't sure what I was expecting with it, but I gotta be dead honest, I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy it, but I absolutely did. See, I thought it was going to be a more on-track game, sort of like, you go here, complete all the stuff here, go there, complete all the stuff there. But it had like a certain reign of freedom to it. I mean, not completely free roam, but like, well, the best example I can give is like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I mean, it allowed you to free roam wherever you like, but the story led you in specific directions. So like, once you unlock the first like area, you can explore that for as long as you like and do whatever you like. It won't immediately force you to go into the next section. It's just that's where the story is if you want to do it, so you can do all your side quests and level up if you want to. And of course I did. So even though the story led you in a specific direction, the map was made up of lots of smaller destinations, and it sort of flowed into one another and sometimes went back to another destination, so it like showed you something back there that you didn't know first time you were there. I mean, if my description helps at all. But I did enjoy it, and I managed to get 100% on it. Well, not the trophies. I mean, I'm missing 2 from the single player. That's not including the hidden trophies, because I managed to get one of them by accident. And I'm missing quite a few from the multiplayer, because I haven't actually played multiplayer with anyone yet. But I 100%ed the story mode and collected all the collectibles. That's what I meant by it. And now that it's finished, I could finally get on with some other games I've been meaning to finish, and get used to the different control schemes again. Because aiming in Tomb Raider was L1, and the amount of times I have put my gun away by pressing L1 before trying to shoot someone in GTA 5 is absolutely ridiculous. And it's the same with the handbrake in GTA 5, which is X, and it causes me to fly out of my vehicle on a parachute in Just Cause 2. So I'm like, Zoe, try and get the schemes right for different games. As for Just Cause 2, I've put about 20 hours in thus far, and I'm still only about 16% done. It doesn't help that I haven't been doing any missions. I've just been going around getting 100% on all the locations. Though I have done a few strongholds. I think I've done 4 strongholds thus far. Otherwise, I've been using my time to write a story. It's only about 26 pages long at the time of recording this, but it's nowhere near finished. I've split the story into 4 parts, and the first one is completed, but it's only 4 pages long. The other 3 are going to be way longer than the first, because the first one is just like an opening, setting the tone for the story, giving some information, and basically sort of trying to hook you in. What was I up to? Yep, the first section, I've already done 24 pages on it, and that is just one day in the story. It's not even a full day, it's from like midday to falling asleep that night. So you can imagine it's going to be a lot longer, because I'm thinking maybe that it'll be 3 days. It might be 4. But like, in my mind it's going to be 3 days for the first story. And that's like section 2. I know I sound confusing, but like, if you'd read it you'd understand. But I also plan to have the second and third sections. Can't talk today. Are they going to be a standalone stories? I mean, they'll have references to the other sections, but if you want, you could just read that section and it would be a story that sort of like, it can stand up for itself. Now, the reason I did this, not only because I thought it'd be interesting, but it's because I have a habit of starting stories and not finishing them. And usually it's because I get bored halfway through. And the reason I get bored halfway through is because I'll come up with a great beginning and a great end and then just sort of blag my way through it. But this one I actually took some notes down before starting it, so I do have a general structure. It's like, it's the only way I can think of explaining it is like it's a dot-to-dot picture, and it's I've just got to fill in the lines between dots. There's like key moments and stuff, and thus far that's really worked for me. I haven't like come to a loss about what I'm supposed to say next. But if I did sort of get bored halfway through section 1, I could start on section 2 because it's its own story. It has no real connection to section 2, so section 3 is basically its own thing. And I thought, well, that'd be great because it's something new, it's something different, and so I can always go back to it when I get bored of the third section. It's, I'd say, a kind of kid's story, but sort of like ages 10 and up sort of thing. Not sort of like for super young kids. And it's sort of, oh god, it's got influences from literally everything. It's got like The Hobbit, Skyrim, Bartok the Magnificent. Last night I'm sure I made a reference to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but it was only like one line, so it's one of those like and sort of you see it and it's sort of there and you're like, ooh. But there's a whole bunch of other references in there as well, and I'm really enjoying writing it this far. But considering it's about 8 minutes in this video, I better get back to talking about the painting. Well, it's coming along quite well, as you can see, but my main issue is that the closer I come to finishing it, the less there is to paint of the same colour. So it's not like the first section where I mixed like, I think 25, which is the dark brown, and I coloured in all the shadows and all the mane, and basically that and I think one other colour filled the entire episode. I think I even went on to start the next episode with one of the colours as well. So it's sort of like large areas of the same colour. It's not like that anymore. It's just lots of little sections. So I do spend quite a bit of time in this video mixing colours. And I'm so sorry for that. I mean, I started off the video with a colour already mixed, like to save some time so you didn't have to watch that, and so I could just get right to it. But I ended up colouring about 4 different sections, that is like 4 different mixes in this video. So mixing was inevitable. As for the next video though, I think I will be able to just colour in large sections of the same colour. but my main issue is that it's mainly greys, which, as I mentioned in the first video, I managed to do all the 1/20 sections with a 1/10 mix. Now, the choice is I can either ignore it and just do all the 1/10 sections with the 1/20 mix, which would change the lights and the shadows in the painting, but it'll be original. Nobody else will have one like mine. Or I can go and colour all of the 1/10 sections, which is the light grey colour, with a 1/20 mix, which is like a dark grey. Now that would make most sense, and I don't know how I didn't realise it at the time. 1 minute, I need to cough. There we go. Sorry, that might have been loud. Because all the light grey sections are usually right by, like as you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the picture, all the light grey sections is right by all the black sections, so I don't know how I didn't figure it out that I was meant to be using a dark grey colour. So as I was saying, I can either A, colour in all the light sections with a dark grey, or B, colour in all the light grey sections that are already on there, that have already been painted with a dark grey colour, but I can't make up my mind about it. Should I redo all the light greys, or should I just continue on and have it look different? I can't make up my mind about it, so I'm going to leave the choice to you guys, which you can say down in the comments, because I always read them. But I suppose that's about it for this video, and I'm going to shut up now so you can watch the last minute of the video. Thank you for listening. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and have a nice day.